Okay, hello everyone. Today we will be conducting the Vickers test. So we will use this machine and the sample that we are using is this. So first of all, when conducting the Vickers test, one thing that you have to make sure is that your sample is polished. So your sample has to be as polished as possible so that there are no lines or scratches that will affect your results. So once your surface is polished, then you can start with the Vickers test. Okay, so first of all, this is the machine, and here you have the on and off knob. So we are going to turn on the knob. Okay, once you turn on the knob, you have to look through the microscope and see that your machine is focused. So we are going to take our sample and put it on the machine. And once you have your sample, you have to choose an area where you will indent. So what we did is we marked with a pencil the area that we want to use. So it's right here. Okay, so now we're going to put it on the surface and make sure that the light approximately lines up with your area. Okay, so now we're going to focus the machine. You can focus the machine by either turning the stage up or down. So up is clockwise rotation and down is anti-clockwise rotation.
Remember to say, take the knife.
Yeah.
Has it been focused?
It's not as focused as before.
You may turn the light to be brighter.
Okay. So we're going to turn on the light. You can turn on the light using this knob right here. So you can check and see if it's focused. What am I supposed to say?
I think you should use your cell phone to confirm it.
Can it focus? No. It's not working.
Let me see if I can get a picture.
Okay, let me check whether it's focused or not. Okay. It's better now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So once you have your machine focused, now we are going to use this to change from the microscope to the indenter. So when you are turning this, you're going to hear a click. Okay, so there is the click. So now we have the indenter. Okay, but it's too far. Okay, let's see. Okay, now there's another click. So it's right on top of the sample now. Okay, so now we are going to determine our load. So to determine our load, what determines our load is the size of the indentation. So if the indentation is too big, then that means that the load that you use is too big. And if the indentation is too small, that means that the load that you use is too small. So you can try the loads and then measure your indentation. So for right now, we're going to try a load of 10. So as well, you have to take into account the material that you use. So copper would be softer, so you will need a smaller load for you to have a good indentation, rather than if you use steel, it will be a higher load. Okay, so we're going to start with 10. Next thing that you have to take into account is the timer. So here is the timer, and this is the time that will be taken for the indentation. So we will use a time of 15 seconds. 15 seconds, that should be enough. Okay, so I set my load, then the timer set to 15. Okay, and now I'm going to indent. So to indent, you can press this button right here. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so now the indentation is finished. Okay, now we are going to change back the indenter to the microscope. Okay, and there's the click again. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to measure the diagonals. To measure the diagonals, you use these two knobs. So this knob is to align the two lines, and this knob is to move the right line. So first we're going to move the two lines, align them right at the edge of the indentation. So we'll do that. So if you cannot see clear, you can adjust the light.
Picture and it.
Okay, so when you are doing this, you have to make sure that the two lines overlap and are right on top of each other. You do not want the two lines just touching each other, because then you will have the thickness of two lines and not one line. So right now we align the two lines at the edge of the indentation. So this is to take into account any zero error. So right here we'll take this as 0. So our number right here is 999 6 6. This does not align properly, so we will give it maybe a 0.3. It's not at half, so it will not be 5, so maybe a 3. 6 6 3. Okay, so you can take a look. Take a picture.
My phone is. It's too small.
Which camera is better? Yes, iPhone.
That's an S. It's Samsung. Yeah. Okay, Luscious, need to look?
Go on.
Okay. Okay, so once you have the two lines aligned, now you're going to move one line to the next edge. So for example, you have the indentation like this. So right now the two lines are right at this edge. So now you're going to move one of the lines to this edge to measure the diagonal. So we will do that. Okay, so now we have the two lines each at the edge of the diagonal. Okay, so now we're going to write this number. So this is 251. Okay, so now we are going to measure the diagonal. Okay, to measure the diagonal, you have to get the from 0, you have to get the difference from 0 to this number. So you can say that minus this from 10, this will be 10. Okay, so this will be from 100,000. So minus this number from 100,000. Somebody can help me with a calculator.
What's the number?
100,000 minus 99966.3. 33.7. So now we're going to add this to the number 251 plus 33.7. So we get how much? 251 plus 33.7.
284.
284.7.
0.7.
So that would be our number, the correct measurement of the diagonal. So now you can take a look at the diagonal. Take a picture.
I can't take.
Your hand can't be quivering. Go on. No, go on.
Okay, so now that you have the diagonal, you can say this is the horizontal diagonal. Now you're going to measure the vertical diagonal. So to measure the vertical diagonal, we will turn this platform, and you have to keep in mind the diagonal has to be the same or approximately the same. If it's not the same, then you have to measure the diagonal again with the same process, and then you're going to take the average of the two diagonals. Another thing, for this experiment, you should be able to do more than 3 indentations for it to be more accurate. So once you do 3 indentations, then you will take the average of the 3 indentations. But today we're only going to do it for 1 indentation if everything is okay. So we are going to spin the platform. Okay, and as well, you have to make sure that the diagonals are perpendicular to the edge. So if this is the edge, the line to measure the diagonal has to be perpendicular to the edge, directly perpendicular, and the two lines will always be parallel. Okay, so let's see if this is correct. Okay, so right now I've set the lines to be perpendicular to the edge, but they are not on the edges of the diagonal, so we have to do the process again. So we will line the two lines at the top edge of the diagonal.
One question for you.
Yes.
How to assure that it's being perpendicular?
Okay, so to ensure that it is perpendicular, what you can do is, well, something inaccurate will be just to measure by eye, but what you can do is line them up at the center, because the two diagonals should be parallel to each other. So you line the line at the center so that it's perpendicular, and then move it up to the top edge, and then you can move one of the lines down. So I will do that right now. Okay, so right now I have the two lines passing through the horizontal edges. So you can take a look at this is to make sure that they're perpendicular.
Take pictures of both. I mean, one side and the other side, and include include that in your report.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this now we're going to line the two lines at top. Okay, so now we take into account the number as well. So for here, the number is 996. Okay, so this is 99962.5. Okay, and you can take a picture. Take a picture of this. Okay, so this is for to get the 0. So now we're going to move the line to the next edge. Okay, sorry, I did a mistake of moving this knob right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up this to the same number. So 9963. Okay, we will just take this number as our new 0. This would be 999735. This is our new 0. Okay, so everyone, please be careful that when you're moving the second line, it's only this knob. So we're taking this as our 0 now. Okay, so now we're going to move the second line. Okay, so the second line is set. The number here is 258.5. So 258.5. You can take a picture. 258.5. Okay, so first, can you give me the... Okay, so right now we're going to do the calculations. So 100,000 minus... Okay. 100,000 minus 9973.
9973.
Sorry, it's 10,000 minus 9973.5. 10,000. How much? 27. Okay, so 27 plus 258.5. 258.5.
285.5.
285.5. So this is the second measurement of our diagonal. So the difference is so it's 285.5 for the vertical and 284.7 for the horizontal. It's not much of a difference. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add them and take the average for this. Okay, so the average 285.5 plus 284.7.
285.1.
285.1.
Yeah,
So our measurement for diagonal, our final measurement will be 285.1. Okay, so now we are finished. Okay, so what we're going to do is just put everything back into place. So turn the platform and turn off. So right here, the main switch again, turn off, and we can take out our sample. Okay, and